In the tumultuous year of 2018, following a series of chaotic events and personal losses, Wade Wilson, the regenerating degenerate known as Deadpool, found himself wielding the time-traveling capabilities of Cable's futuristic device. Driven by an intense desire to undo the tragic death of his beloved girlfriend, Vanessa Carlyle, he manipulated the temporal currents, successfully preventing her demise within his own universe, designated Earth 10005. However, the pull of new possibilities was strong. With a mixture of impetuous hope and sheer, unabashed audacity, Wade used the same device to slingshot himself across the multiverse, landing squarely on Earth 616, a reality renowned for its established superhero community and, crucially, considered part of the sacred timeline. Wade's primary motivation for this interdimensional leap was simple, if not a little naive. He wanted to become an Avenger. He pictured himself as a valued member of Earth 616's premier superhero team, imagining the witty banter and devastating combat prowess he could bring to the table. Upon arriving, however, his hopes were quickly dashed. Instead of a welcoming committee, he was met with the sardonic stare of Happy Hogan, Tony Stark's loyal and often exasperated head of security. Happy, unimpressed by Wade's flamboyant introduction and thoroughly repulsed by his questionable methods, summarily rejected him, making it abundantly clear that the Avengers had no use for a merc with a mouth like his. Dejected but undeterred, Wade, licking his wounds, both literal and figurative, retreated back to the familiar chaos of his own Earth, 10,005, his dreams of Avengers glory left shattered. The subsequent 6 years on Earth, 10,005, proved to be a period of significant personal shifts for Wade. The relationship with Vanessa, while initially saved from death, eventually succumbed to its own internal pressures, leading to a painful and ultimately necessary breakup. Perhaps seeking solace or perhaps simply burned out, Wade decided to hang up his katanas and retire from the life of the masked mercenary Deadpool. Trading his crimson suit and wisecracking for a more mundane existence, he now found himself reluctantly working as a used car salesman. He was not entirely alone in this new chapter, however. He worked alongside his decidedly less than superpowered friend, Peter Wisdom, a former member of the ill-fated and short-lived X-Force team. The daily grind of selling questionable vehicles provided a stark contrast to his previous life, forcing him to confront not only the realities of the mundane, but also the lingering echoes of his past adventures. Wade Wilson, oblivious to the cosmic forces at play, was celebrating his birthday with a chaotic, boisterous party, complete with chimichangas and questionable karaoke. Suddenly, the revelry was interrupted by the arrival of strange, imposing figures clad in muted uniforms. They were agents of the Time Variance Authority, TVA, a bureaucratic organization operating beyond the constraints of time itself. These agents, with their emotionless faces and advanced technology, swiftly apprehended Wade, whisking him away from his party and plunking him down before a figure of unsettling calm. Mr. Paradox. Mr. Paradox, emanating an aura of detached wisdom and wielding temporal knowledge as if it were an everyday tool, explained the TVA's purpose. They weren't merely policing one timeline, they were the custodians of the sacred timeline, a carefully curated branch of reality within the vast, chaotic multiverse. They ensured its stability and pruned deviations that threatened its integrity. Paradox revealed that they had been monitoring Wade, and they had a proposition. He offered Wade a chance at a future within Earth 616, the core reality within the Marvel multiverse, a clean slate and a fresh start. Initially bewildered but intrigued by the prospect of escaping his current chaotic existence, Wade tentatively agreed. However, Paradox's next revelation shattered the fragile hope he offered. Wade's own timeline, his native reality, was on the verge of collapse. Its stability was intrinsically linked to an anchor being, a key individual whose very existence held the timeline together. This being Logan, the gruff and legendary Wolverine, had tragically passed away. Paradox then calmly announced his intention to use a Time Ripper, a powerful device designed to accelerate the dissolution of unstable timelines. He justified it as a necessary act for temporal order, but for Wade, this was a death sentence for everything he knew. Fueled by a mix of fear, anger, and a surprising surge of responsibility, Wade's impulsiveness took over. He saw the TemPad, the TVA's device allowing for temporal travel, lying within reach. In a flash of chaotic brilliance, he grabbed it, activating it and leaping into its swirling temporal portal without considering the consequences. His destination was clear: Logan's grave. He had to fix this. He believed that if he could resurrect Logan, somehow restore his anchor being, he could save his timeline. His attempt, however, was a resounding failure. The laws of time, as it turned out, were not as easily circumvented as he had hoped. Realizing that resurrecting his Logan was impossible, but not willing to give up on his timeline, a new plan began to form in Wade's mind. He wouldn't bring back his Logan. He would find another. Armed with the TVA's temporal technology and a desperate hope, Wade embarked on a perilous journey across the multiverse. He was now on the hunt, not for a solution, but for a variant Logan from an alternate reality, another Wolverine that could act as a new anchor, and perhaps halt his universe's impending demise. His search was now a desperate race against time, against the very fabric of reality itself. With his signature irreverence and a chaotic grin, Wade burst back into the pristine, anachronistic corridors of the TVA. This time, he wasn't alone, hauling a weary and visibly aged Logan variant in tow. Their arrival, however, was met not with welcome, but with the detached pronouncements of Paradox, a stone-faced bureaucrat of the temporal agency. Paradox coldly informed Wade that anchor beings, individuals whose fixed point in time anchors reality itself, were irreplaceable, their existence crucial to the stability of the timelines. Then, with disdain dripping from his voice, Paradox declared this Logan variant to be, unequivocally, the worst Wolverine across the entirety of the infinite multiverse, a designation that stung even the hardened mutant. Wade, ever the astute observer despite his eccentricities, sensed a shift in the air, a subtle dissonance in Paradox's behavior. He quickly deduced that the TVA agent was operating outside of established channels, a rogue element acting without the knowledge or consent of his superiors. His suspicions voiced, Wade was immediately met with swift and decisive action. Paradox, revealing a hidden streak of ruthlessness, banished both Wade and the unfortunate Logan variant to the dreaded void, a chaotic wasteland at the end of time, a dumping ground for discarded realities and temporal anomalies. Cast adrift in the nightmarish landscape of the void, Logan, initially resistant and his usual gruff self, was slowly swayed by Wade's relentless, if somewhat unhinged, optimism. Wade, sensing Logan's underlying weariness and longing, made a bold claim. He argued with fervent conviction that the TVA in its vast temporal power could potentially alter even Logan's deeply scarred and tragic timeline. This sliver of hope, despite its improbable nature, was enough to forge an uneasy alliance between the unlikely pair. Their fragile truce, however, was brutally interrupted. Ambushed and ensnared, they found themselves prisoners alongside another unfortunate soul, Johnny Storm, the Human Torch, his fiery essence flickering weakly. Their captor was revealed to be Cassandra Nova, the malevolent and terrifying twin sister of Charles Xavier. Cassandra, a psychic of immense power and twisted desires, had brokered a shadowy deal with elements within the TVA. Her price for playing some unspecified role within the void was the freedom to, in effect, govern this chaotic realm. In a casual act of unimaginable cruelty designed perhaps to assert dominance or simply for her own sadistic amusement, Cassandra Nova extinguished Johnny Storm's life with a flick of her wrist, his flames dying out forever. She then callously abandoned Wade and Logan to the ravenous hunger of Aliath, a colossal, cloud-like entity, a living storm of temporal energy that consumed all of reality in its path. Against all odds, through a combination of Wade's improbable resourcefulness and Logan's gnarly resilience, the pair managed to escape the gaping maw of Aliath, surviving what seemed like certain annihilation. Navigating the ravaged remains of what was once a city, Logan and Wade were surprised to stumble upon Nice Pool, a Deadpool variant whose demeanor was jarringly at odds with Wade's usual chaos. This politely spoken doppelganger, with a surprisingly courteous wave, pointed them towards a clandestine resistance movement entrenched against Cassandra's overwhelming power. As they made their way, the already strained partnership between Logan and Wade fractured further. In a moment of ill-timed levity, Wade offhandedly confessed that his claims about the TVA fixing Logan's timeline had been a complete fabrication. The impact of this lie was immediate and visceral. Logan's simmering anger erupted. Accusations flew, fists connected, and a brief, furious fight erupted, leaving both mutants sprawled unconscious amidst the debris. When they regained consciousness, it was to the concerned faces of the resistance. They were in a hidden camp, a makeshift haven in the ruins. Gathered around them were formidable figures: Laura, Logan's clone and a fierce warrior; Elektra, her eyes sharp and calculating; the imposing Blade, ever vigilant; and Gambit, his kinetic energy crackling around his fingers. Dusting himself off, Wade, with his characteristic bravado, pitched an alliance to the wary resistance fighters, emphasizing the dire need to unite against Cassandra. However, it was Laura who truly swayed Logan. Witnessing the haunted look in his eyes, the lingering pain of losing his X-Men comrades, Laura spoke to him directly. She reminded him of the fight they owed to the Fallen, the fight for a future that wasn't dominated by Cassandra, and the chance, however slim, to make a difference. Her words resonated deeply, finally pushing Logan beyond his despair and into reluctant action. The Resistance members, their stealth and agility honed by years of underground warfare, employed a series of cunning diversions to draw the attention of Cassandra's loyal henchmen. Amidst the ensuing chaos and confusion, Wade and Logan, two formidable warriors renowned for their indomitable spirits, executed a daring plan to neutralize Cassandra's extraordinary abilities. With precision and lightning-fast movements, they approached Cassandra from behind, their eyes fixed on the formidable Juggernaut's helmet, a relic of legendary power. The helmet, known to suppress even the most potent of mutant abilities, was their only hope of subduing Cassandra. As Logan distracted Cassandra with a flurry of relentless attacks, Wade deftly maneuvered into position and carefully placed the helmet upon her head. The effect was instantaneous. Cassandra's once formidable powers dissipated into thin air, leaving her vulnerable and disoriented. However, their triumph was short-lived. Amidst the confusion, Pyro, a treacherous follower of Cassandra, turned against his mistress at the behest of the enigmatic Paradox. Pyro unleashed a barrage of fireballs upon Cassandra, threatening to end her life. As Logan watched helplessly, Wade's instincts took over. Realizing the gravity of the situation, he reluctantly approached Cassandra and, mustering all his strength, removed the helmet. Cassandra's powers surged back, but she was severely weakened by Pyro's attack. With newfound resolve, Cassandra summoned her remaining strength and tore open a portal to Earth 10,005, an unknown and potentially dangerous realm. Without hesitation, Logan and Wade leaped through the portal, their fates now intertwined with the enigmatic destination that awaited them. Cassandra, driven by vengeance, sought knowledge of Paradox's Time Ripper. She approached Pyro, who possessed the information, and without hesitation extinguished his life, claiming his secrets. Guided by the stolen knowledge, Cassandra pursued Logan and Wade to Earth 10,005. Upon her arrival, Cassandra unveiled her sinister plan, the annihilation of all timelines, leaving only the desolate void. To execute this heinous scheme, she summoned an army of Deadpool variants who mercilessly cut down Nicepool, a kind-hearted and altruistic version of Deadpool. A fierce battle ensued, pitting Wade, Logan, and their allies against Cassandra's relentless army. Amidst the chaos, Peter arrived, diverting the variants' attention and providing a crucial distraction. Paradox, the enigmatic time manipulator, revealed a dire choice to Wade and Logan. To destroy the Time Ripper and prevent Cassandra's catastrophic plan, one of them must disrupt its power flow, a task that would inevitably claim their life, even with their extraordinary healing capabilities. Undeterred, Wade and Logan, their bonds of camaraderie unbreakable, resolved to face the ultimate sacrifice together. In unison, they surged their combined power into the Time Ripper, unleashing a cataclysmic explosion that shattered Cassandra's malevolent dreams and eliminated the threat posed by the Time Ripper. Miraculously, Wade and Logan emerged from the wreckage, their bodies ravaged but their spirits unbroken. By sharing the burden of the Time Ripper's destruction, they had defied fate and emerged victorious, their sacrifice ensuring the preservation of the timelines and the triumph of hope over despair. Driven by her insatiable hunger for power and control, Cassandra orchestrated a brutal encounter with Pyro, a pawn of the enigmatic paradox. From him, through coercion and force, she extracted the crucial information about Paradox's devastatingly powerful creation, the Time Ripper. Having wrung every last secret from Pyro, Cassandra coldly eliminated him, ensuring no loose ends remained to threaten her impending scheme. Knowing that Logan and Wade, two persistent thorns in the side of those who manipulated timelines, were already on the scent of temporal anomalies, Cassandra shrewdly tracked them through the chaotic currents of dimensional rifts. Her pursuit led her to Earth 10,005, a reality chosen for her grand, terrifying unveiling. There, before the battle-weary mutants, Cassandra dramatically revealed her ultimate ambition, to unravel and shatter every single timeline that existed, plunging all of reality into oblivion and leaving only the desolate, silent void in its place. She envisioned herself as the sole sovereign of this nothingness. To enact this apocalyptic vision, Cassandra unleashed her horrifying trump card, a legion of Deadpool variants, plucked from across the fractured multiverse and twisted to her will. This cacophony of crimson-clad chaos descended upon the scene, their first horrifying act being the brutal execution of Nicepool, a rare innocent variant who stood in stark contrast to the murderous horde. Then, the army of Deadpools turned their chaotic fury upon Wade Wilson and Logan. The two seasoned warriors found themselves battling back-to-back against an overwhelming tide of manic energy and unpredictable weaponry, a swirling vortex of blades, bullets, and bizarre pronouncements. Just as Wade and Logan began to be pushed to their limits, a surprising ally arrived, Peter. Drawn by the temporal disturbance, or perhaps guided by a sense of responsibility, Peter interjected himself into the chaotic melee. With a flurry of webs and quick-witted banter, Peter managed to momentarily distract the scattered attention of the Deadpool variants, buying Wade and Logan precious seconds. Meanwhile, Paradox, ever the observer and manipulator of time, materialized before Wade and Logan, his presence radiating an aura of ancient knowledge and somber gravity. He delivered stark news: the Time Ripper, Cassandra's instrument of annihilation, could be stopped. However, the only way to disrupt its power flow and shatter its reality-rending capabilities was an act of immense sacrifice. Paradox explained that overloading the device would release a wave of temporal energy so intense that it would be fatal to any single being, even those with regenerative abilities like Wade and Logan. The healing factors might prolong the agony, but ultimately death would be inevitable. Despite the grim prognosis, Wade and Logan, hardened by countless battles and driven by a fierce protectiveness of existence itself, didn't hesitate. They exchanged a look of grim determination, a silent pact forged in the face of oblivion. They would not allow Cassandra to succeed. In a moment of profound unity, they decided to face death together, choosing to combine their efforts. Simultaneously, they channeled their power, their energy, and their very beings into disrupting the Time Ripper's core. The surge of power unleashed was catastrophic, obliterating Cassandra in a blinding flash and shattering her grand design. Against all odds and defying Paradox's grim prediction, Wade and Logan found themselves clinging to life. By sharing the immense burden of the temporal backlash, splitting the deadly energy flow between them, they had somehow managed to survive, a testament to their combined resilience and the unexpected power of unity in the face of ultimate destruction. They had averted the void at a terrible but ultimately survivable cost. As Paradox faces arrest by the enigmatic Hunter B-15 from the Time Variance Authority TVA, a sense of relief washes over Wade and Logan. Hunter B-15 extends her congratulations, acknowledging that their daring actions have successfully averted a catastrophic deterioration of Earth 10,005. Driven by a deep sense of compassion, Wade makes a heartfelt plea to Hunter B-15. He implores her to intervene in the harrowing fate of the resistance group trapped within the unforgiving void. Additionally, he harbors a fervent hope that the troubled history of Logan's world could be altered, erasing the scars of the past. However, Hunter B-15 gently dispels Wade's aspiration. She elucidates that modifying Logan's history is beyond the realm of possibility. She explains that the events that have shaped him, both joyous and tragic, have forged him into the indomitable hero he has become. Nevertheless, Hunter B-15 makes a concession, extending an allowance for Logan to remain in Wade's world. Filled with gratitude, Wade extends an invitation to Logan, urging him to join him and meet his cherished companions. Encouraged by Logan's unwavering support, Wade embarks on a journey of reconciliation with his beloved Vanessa. The bonds of love and understanding that once connected them are rekindled, offering a beacon of hope amidst the chaotic tapestry of time. If you liked this video, consider subscribing to the channel so you can receive notifications about new content.